The Diamondbacks continue this weekend set with the Atlanta Braves. So spend your Saturday night with us, the Dbacks and the Braves, on Dbacks TV. Good evening from Chase Field and welcome to Diamondbacks baseball. Steve and Bob here with you. Merrill Kelly's on the mound tonight. And so far this year, we've seen both Corbin Burnes and Zach Gallen work through some early season issues in the rotation. But Bob, once again, Merrill Kelly has been the veteran mainstay on this pitching staff.
Absolutely. I mean, Merrill, we count on him every time he takes the ball, but he's 2-0 this season with a 2.12 ERA after a D-backs loss. Especially good Sunday against the Cubs. 2 rain delays. He was very frustrated with the umpires, but came back out after the delay, dealing.
Yeah, had the 39-minute delay to start, then a 59-minute delay in the first. Gave up an RBI hit in the first inning, then set down the next 16 in a row before the cramping issue resurfaced.
Yeah, unfortunately, the cramps did come back in that right hamstring for Merrill Kelly because the Cubs weren't going to stop him in that particular ball game. He was hitting his spots, mixing his pitches. Vintage Merrill Kelly.
He was on a sensational run and look to continue that tonight against the Atlanta Braves as the Diamondbacks look to even this series at a game apiece. He's up against right-hander Grant Holmes.
Yeah, Grant Holmes averaging about a strikeout per inning, but he also walks a lot of guys. 14 base on balls in just over 22 innings. Make him throw strikes.
What an atmosphere in here tonight. Roof and outfield panels open. A big crowd, 40,000 plus. Todd Walsh and Josh Coleman coming up. More on Merrill and tonight's starting lineups after this break.
Our exclusive coverage of Diamondbacks baseball continues here on Dbacks TV. Just moments away now from first pitch, game 2 of 3 Dbacks and Braves from Chase Field from our pre and post game set. That's Josh Coleman. I'm Todd Walsh. Josh, before we look to the lineups, put us into Merrill Kelly's state of mind. His team has lost 3 in a row. We heard Corbin Burnes struggled, Zach Gallen struggled in back-to-back starts. What's he wearing? What's he carrying to the mound?
Merrill takes everything in stride. I think he just goes out and pitches his game, and he knows he's kind of the stopper. He's got great numbers after losses. He just goes out and pitches the same game every time. He doesn't try to do too much or too little, mixes his pitches, throws whatever he wants whenever he wants, and it's fun to watch. And I think he's the perfect guy on the mound for tonight.
Right man, right time.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So with that, let's get to the batting order for both squads here today. On the left, Brian Snitker and the Atlanta Braves, who have put a nice run together, and you're looking at Austin Riley.
He picked up a couple RBIs yesterday. The guys behind him, no real success or anything against Merrill Kelly. Don't let him be the guy that gets those RBI again tonight. And for Moreno, he's moving up into the 5 spot for the D-backs. He's got a chance to maybe drive in some runs, provide some protection. He usually rewards Torrey when he moves him up in the lineup.
Schedule off day for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in left field tonight. We'll take a break. Let's get back to field level. And there he is, Merrill Kelly making his way. And when we come back, he'll be on the mound with the ball in his hand. Steve Berthune and Bob Brennan will have the call.
Well, a tremendous atmosphere in here tonight. We're at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun, and Arizona April evening, and a packed house for the Diamondbacks and the Braves. Welcome to it. Steve Berthune, Bob Brennan, Todd Walsh, Josh Coleman here. Diamondbacks have officially fallen into their first rough patch of the year. They've lost 3 straight and 5 of 7. And they'll look to Merrill Kelly to get things turned around as we get a look at his stats provided by Y-Refi. Merrill in his 5 starts this year has kept the opponent to 2 earned runs or fewer 4 times.
And rarely does he hurt himself with the base on balls. He's always in and around the strike zone with any one of his 6 pitches.
Let's get a look around the diamond now. The D-backs defense behind Merrill Kelly here this evening.
We're going to highlight Eugenio Suárez down there at third base. Some really good signs offensively for Gino last night. Drew a couple of base on balls. He had a double. He scored 2 runs. Unfortunately made a defensive error, but offensively looked much better last night.
Well, the Braves have looked a whole lot better as of late. They got off to a kind of shocking 0-7 start, but Atlanta has reversed course. And they are playing very well right now. They've won 6 of the last 7, including an 8-2 win in the opener here last night under Brian Snitker. In a span of just a week, his club has gone from a miserable 5-13 to a spot where they can now see the light there within 3 games of 500.
That's baseball, Susan. That's the way it goes. I mean, other than a few teams that seem to win almost every night, baseball's that way. You're going to run off a streak of 5 in a row where you look like world beaters, and then you're going to play 5 in a row where you look like you've never played the game before.
Yeah, I think that latter part describes the Diamondbacks this week. They'll try to get it turned around tonight as Alex Verdugo leads it off for the Braves. Tony Randazzo, our plate umpire, back there calling balls and strikes. A spectacular evening here in downtown Phoenix. Roof and outfield panels all opened up. Big crowd in here tonight, and they are set for the Diamondbacks and Braves. Glad you're with us on Dbacks TV.
A little bit of a cold snap here in the Valley. It's only 80 today.
Don't jinx it.
85, 85, 85 the last 3 nights, and all the way down to 80 today.
Don't jinx it. It's just been beautiful. Here's the fastball at the knees. Verdugo delivered an RBI double from the leadoff spot for the Braves last night. Batting just under 260 on the year.
Yeah, that double really hurt. I mean, just a little floating pop-up down the third baseline that nobody could get to in time. Landed barely in fair territory, but they all count.
And Verdugo, only 6 games with Atlanta. He signed with the Braves nearly on the eve of opening day, and so in his own personal spring training, started the year at their AAA club in Gwinnett, and now was in their outfield every day. And he slaps one the other way again. Jorge Barrosa able to run it down. Let's take a look at Merrill Kelly's arsenal, Bob. It's a whole bag of tricks out there.
A whole bag of tricks. I mean, we've talked a lot about Merrill. He'll keep that four-seamer down, the changeup down. The cutter is the pitch that he'll try to elevate from time to time and get a swing and a miss. But as I mentioned before, he will use all those pitches to any hitter at any time.
And it's the command, the location of those pitches that makes him so good. Austin Riley, the third baseman. Big night here last night. He's really heating up to 304 in 6 homers, and he leads the Braves in runs batted in. And he's hitting everything these days. Last night he walked and a couple of RBI hits. His 11th multi-hit game this month.
How about this for Austin Riley? 15 games in his career here at Chase Field. He's a .387 hitter. In 62 at-bats, he has 6 home runs and 8 doubles.
It's from the Freddie Freeman school of I love to hit at Chase Field.
Yeah, no kidding.
Most guys do. Diamondbacks just looking for any kind of positive momentum, and if you ask Torey Lovullo, it always every night starts with the starting pitching and flows downstream from there. And so Merrill can be the tone setter here tonight. And that'll help. Good cut fastball, and it's 2-2. Marcelo Zuna, the DH, waiting on deck. There's the changeup. 2 up, 2 down for Merrill, the mainstay.
Bunch of sinkers and cutters to start the sequence. Got Riley to speed up his bat a little bit and then fooled him with that changeup.
Not fooling Marcelo Zuna a whole lot these days. He is 5th in the National League with that OPS, but he was the only Brave starter last night that did not have a base hit. And he's making up for that. One swing, he got a fastball and hammered it way out of here. Upper deck for Ozuna, his 5th, and Atlanta strikes first.
Always trying to get ahead in the count. Unfortunately, he threw one right down Main Street that time, and this guy is always ready to swing at anything in that strike zone, sometimes things out of the strike zone, but he got every bit of that one.
443 feet. It left the bat at 110. Ozuna's 5th, and it's Madelson. Also the first baseman in the cleanup spot. Foul ground, long run for Gino. And he's got the basket catch and right down the stairs. Marcelo Ozuna gives Atlanta the early lead. We know it's Gino. Diamondbacks coming up. Corbin Carroll set to lead it off for the Diamondbacks against Grant Holmes, who's out there for Atlanta, the 29-year-old right-hander, a former first-round pick by the Dodgers, who's found a spot this year in the Braves rotation.
Yeah, coming off a win against the Twins, went 5 2/3, gave up only 1 run on 4 hits, struck out a season-high 7 batters in that game.
Corbin back in the leadoff spot against the right-hander, fouls off the first pitch. He's hitting .315. Tied for the major league lead in home runs at the start of play today, and 3rd in the majors with that OPS. That's foul at first. Let's get a look around the diamond now at the Braves defensively tonight.
And we're going to highlight their right fielder, Eli White. Quite a revelation. This guy made a couple of great defensive plays, showed a big arm out there in right field, had a couple of hits, scored a couple of runs, drove in a couple of runs. He was a problem last night.
He's getting an opportunity to play. Former 11th round pick out of Clemson. Corbin skies it high in the air to center. Michael Harris, the second out there. And now, Bob, time for your Budweiser keys to the game.
Well, for the Diamondbacks, I would suggest get your pitch. I mentioned that Holmes had walked 14 batters in just over 22 innings of work. Make sure you get something you want to hit. And for the Braves, I'm sure Tim Hires, their hitting coach, has advised them to attack Merrill early. The batting average against Merrill Kelly in the first inning is .391, and he's walked 5 guys in the first. But after that, not much problem.
Yeah, Merrill, if he has trouble, even he admits it's usually early, and Ozuna jumped on one right away and clobbered it out of here. And there's Perdomo, as he always does, checking that back foot, make sure the box is where it's supposed to be. Geraldo just under .260 now with 3 home runs. He singled and walked as the leadoff hitter in last night's game. Grant Holmes averages 94-95 with a fastball. The best pitch by far has been his slider, and he's got a fairly effective curveball off of that. Lefties will see the occasional cut fastball, as will the righties. Didn't go, says Phil Cousin.
He went a little bit of cutter crazy a couple of starts ago against the Toronto Blue Jays. He threw 19 cutters in that game after throwing a total of 6 in his previous 3 games.
94 on 3-0 is his strike. Holmes has won his last 2 starts. Pavin Smith on deck. And Perdomo staying patient. Works a 1-out walk. Saw a sign. A youngster had a sign in the stands earlier tonight. Said, "It's my birthday and I'm craving a Pavin home run."
Nice.
And here he comes. After a night off last night against the left-hander, Pavin at .365 and 4 homers. There's that slider for strike 1. Perdomo 4 for 4 this year in his stolen base attempts. And that's fair at first. They go to second for the out on Perdomo, and they're able to turn the double play. So just like that, that's the end of the first inning. Diamondbacks trail the Braves 1-0. Well, Merrill Kelly and Marcell Ozuna first inning home run. You can see the difference right there in ERA. Merrill has admitted when he has trouble, it's usually early in the game. And that's been the case again tonight as Sean Murphy fouls off the sinker.
That's been pretty common in the game of baseball forever. If you're going to get to a good pitcher, usually you have to get to him early in the game before he settles in and gets the right split between his fastball and his off-speed pitches, before he wires those corners in. And Merrill will wire those corners in.
He says it's usually just a matter of getting into the flow of the game. Once you get through the first inning, it's usually smooth sailing from there. It was certainly the case last week in Chicago. And once he gets that rhythm of the game, he's tough to beat. The rhythm is going to get you.
Right now.
It's 0-2. So here's the catcher, Murphy. Walked, doubled, scored a run last night for the Braves. Murphy homered twice for Atlanta earlier this week. They were home against the Cardinals. And he's already got 6 home runs this year. He's gone to those sports classes this season to help address astigmatism. Just missed the corner down there with that sinker. Murphy, Albies, and Harris 5, 6, and 7 in the Braves second. Dictionary defines mainstay as a crucial or key part of something, a principle or reliable support or resource. And that is the perfect definition for that man right there.
It sure is. It has been since his time here in the desert. He has been the guy you look to stop a losing streak or continue a winning streak.
7 seasons as a Diamondback. We call him Merrill the mainstay, and he has been the rock. Over his last 3 starts, wins against the Orioles and the Marlins, and that brilliant no decision Sunday against the Cubs. Misfire on the changeup, and it's full to Murphy, 3-2. Ozzie Albies on deck. This is well struck high in the air to left. Barossa at the wall, and it is gone. He almost had it, Jorge Barossa, and somehow that snuck beyond his reach and over the fence. Murphy's 7th, and it's 2-0 Atlanta. Jorge Barossa out there in left. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. getting the night off. And Jorge at 5'6" came up just short.
Long one right in the middle of the plate, belt high that time to Murphy. Hit it high in the air. I thought maybe Barossa would have a chance to get underneath it, but it just barely clears the fence out there. We need taller outfielders.
Or shorter fences. Well, like taller fences. Here's Ozzie Albies. So 5 batters for the Braves. Couple of solo homers against Merrill. Albies at .232 and 4 home runs. Not only did the ball go out over the fence, so Jorge lost his mitt. Had to get that back. Didn't go, says Phil Cuzzy. Here it is. Watch the glove go with the ball. Oh, wow.
Ball hit in the glove, and oh, man. Missed that the first time and didn't realize it hit him in the glove and knocked it right off his hand.
Albies throws the bat at that one. Let's take one more look from a different angle here. He made the play. That's the thing that kills you. He made the play. Smart Diamondback fans immediately get Jorge his glove back. Boy, that was a heck of an effort.
Oh, it sure was.
Albies back in the box with a 1-2 count. He had an RBI double, scored a run last night. 1 for 5, Ozzie Albies. Merrill threw a terrific change up earlier to Austin Riley, but he's not thrown one quite as good yet. And it's 2-2 on the Braves second baseman. Came right back with a curveball that time. Ozzie Albies 3 times a National League All-Star. Now in his 9th season, all with the Braves. Rung him up. That sinker came back and caught the edge of the zone. Albies checking with Tony Randazzo. Second strikeout for Merrill Kelly.
Starts it inside off the plate. Gets that diving action back toward the corners. Albies couldn't believe it, but that was a good pitch.
Michael Harris, the second, is the center fielder. Singled twice and scored twice last night. Another changeup down low for ball 1. Harris heating up. He has collected 11 hits in his last 7 games. after the batting average had dipped below 180 earlier this month, so he's really heating up. He's got a kind of a green ensemble going here tonight. Yeah, he went. Locked him up with a fastball, and it's 1-2.
Fastball right in on his knuckles. Just couldn't hold up the bat. Now put him away.
I think we've seen Merrill Kelly use a different glove.
Last 3 starts.
And they all have that pocket that looks like it's been welded shut. I don't know if he was tipping pitches earlier this year. He had that rough start in New York. That was the one clunker this season. But ever since then, we've seen these different gloves, all with the same sort of version of that webbing.
Closed web, yeah. You just don't want the hitter to see any movement at all in your glove. Trying to get a grip, maybe go from the fastball to the curveball or the fastball to the changeup. If those hitters see your fingers wiggling around in that glove, they might guess right.
Well, Harris just punches it between Gino and Perdomo, and it's a 1-out single. Good 2-strike approach right there. Just punch it through shortstop.
Just get bat on ball and take your chances. And that time Michael Harris is rewarded as that little bouncer just sneaks through into left center field.
Here is Eli White. The right fielder bats 8th. All 5 of his RBIs this year have come in the last 2 games. And a good night here last night. Harris does run 4 out of 5 in a stolen base attempts. Sinker is a strike. Boy, Merrill, despite the home run in the first 12 pitches, he's at 22 so far in this second. White won't offer at the cutter. White last night singled, doubled, scored twice, drove in a couple of runs, made a terrific catch in foul ground up against that right field wall area in the corner. Sky to short right. Corbin Carroll coming in. Might be wondering, why is Eli White playing? Well, they're still without Ronald Acuna Jr., who's been out all year with a torn left ACL. He's not expected back for several weeks. And they signed Jurickson Profar in the offseason, gave him $42 million, and then he got suspended for a positive PED test. And so Profar will miss the first 80 games. So they have room for guys like Verdugo and Eli White in their outfield.
And Eli White taking full advantage of the opportunity that's been presented to him here this year.
And of course, the last several seasons they've had Orlando Arcia at shortstop. And Arcia is still on the club, but his bat has vanished, and they've acquired Nick Allen from Oakland. And Allen has taken over the shortstop spot. And he's done a nice job his first season with the Braves. Allen last night singled, walked, pick up an RBI. Came over from the Athletics in November. Little guy, 5'8", $166. Harris on the move, and the throw goes into center field. Tawa dove back toward first to try to get it. Alec Thomas throw into third, and Harris is in safely. Gabby had a bit of a misfire that time.
Yeah, it just looked like he didn't have a good grip on the ball. It was wide of the bag from the moment it left his hand. Tawa does everything he could do to try to get back to the ball, but Harris up to his feet and advances on to third base with 2 outs here in the inning.
Diamondbacks have had, let's be honest, a rough week defensively.
Yep.
Rough. 0-2 on Allen. Run home on the Murphy homer. And you've got Harris at third with 2 outs.
Yeah, I say Gabby must not have had a good grip, because he doesn't misfire that badly. Occasionally he'll one hop a throw into second base, but rarely does he miss wide of the bag down there.
Couldn't get Allen to bite on that low slider. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Allen acquired as infield depth in November to trade for minor league pitcher Jared Johnson. And as we said a minute ago, he has taken over the shortstop spot. 2-2 is outside. Now it's full. Verdugo on deck. And a long second, getting longer for Merrill Kelly. Matt Tuiasosopo coaching at third for the Braves. 3-2 is tap foul. Allen has never been much of a hitter. He was in Oakland the first 3 years of his career and hit .209 over those 3 years with the A's, but he's done much better as a Brave. Most guys do.
It's that Southern cooking.
Tap to shortstop. Perdomo fires, and they're able to strand Harris. Home runs from Ozuna and Murphy. It's 2-0 Atlanta. Inside Chase Field, a packed house tonight, better than 40,000 on hand, and there they are on our wire cam. Presented by Defy. It's Diamondbacks baseball, powered by the resources of Major League Baseball. Steve Berthiaume, Bob Brenly, John Walsh, Josh Colmenter here, former Braves great. And the Diamondbacks trail at 2-0. Josh Naylor leads off the second against Grant Holmes.
Yeah, nice bit on the pregame show with Brian Snitker and Josh Colmenter, along with Todd down there, talking about their time shared together.
Boy, Coley was dealing, just striking out Ichiro, one guy after another. Some great highlights. Naylor top 10 in the league. He's batting .310. He's got 4 homers. Naylor sends one to right center, but Harris can catch everything out there.
Hey fans, when the Diamondbacks hit a home run tonight, you score a free Jumbo Jack from Jack in a Box with the purchase of a large drink.
There's Gabby, moved up to 5th in the lineup tonight, batting .222. And he delivered an RBI double in the game last night. Gabby's starting to heat up a bit. He's hit in 3 of his last 4. Up against Grant Holmes, the right-hander has won his last 2 starts for the Braves. He went 7 2/3, a win at Toronto earlier this month. And then last Sunday beat Minnesota. Gave up just 1 run in 5 2/3. He's pitched well. This is up and in. It's 2-0. Holmes has twice this year gone over 100 pitches in a start. But as Bob mentioned earlier, he can get himself into trouble with some occasionally erratic control. He has walked 4 batters in a game in 3 of his 4 starts this year. So some patience might be job 1 for the Diamondback hitters tonight. He's already walked 1 of the ball game. Perdomo back in the first. This is upstairs, 3-1 on Moreno. Eugenio Suárez on deck behind him. Gabby hits it right at Nick Allen. 2 outs in the second.
You know, I mentioned Brian Snitker, the skipper for the Atlanta Braves. You want to talk about an organizational guy. He spent over 40 years in the Atlanta Braves organization in one capacity or another, sitting at the right hand of Bobby Cox for a long time. You want to talk about a great mentor.
The best. 6 homers for Gino. He hits one high and deep to left field. Eugenio Suárez gets the Diamondbacks on the board. Gino's now hit in 4 straight games, 5 of 6, starting to get things turned around back in the right direction.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Gino last night walked a couple times, got a base hit, but much better at bats and much better swings. None better than this, however. Goes down and gets a fastball and drives it out of here to left field.
Just the 3rd home run given up this season by Grant Holmes. The 7th for Gino, and it's 2-1. That's a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow at Jack in the Box with the purchase of a large drink. Alec Thomas now. Alec does not offer it that slider. Gino's at bats all week long have been much, much better. A lot more patient, getting better pitches to hit. Alec rolls one up the first base line for Olsen. And Holmes covers. Diamondbacks have answered back. We know it's Gino. There goes number 7. And after 2, they trail it 2-1.
He's a pretty incredible pitcher. You could tell he's just been everywhere and done everything. You know, he's played all the way out west, and he's back here in the States. He's gone back and forth. He's pitched a lot of different levels. He's clearly knows how to pitch.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field, and that's part of a conversation that Jody Jackson had yesterday with Diamondbacks pitching coach Brian Kaplan. Guys, I just thought that was the quintessential comment regarding Merrill Kelly. He just knows how to pitch. He's been there, done that, right, Steve?
It's great to. I mean, he's an artist, Todd. I mean, we don't want to make too much of it, and Cap has quickly learned that in working with Merrill. It's only been a couple of months now, but. I mean, he's right. He's done it all. He's pitched everywhere on the planet you can pitch. World Baseball Classic. I mean, you name it, he's done it. And you can't. There's no substitute for that, I wouldn't think. Verdugo starts off the Brave 3rd. Oh, fooled him with a changeup. That was a beauty right there. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Merrill tried to stop it with his bare hand. And a nice stretch there by Naylor on the throw from Jerry to get the first out. Here comes Austin Riley. And Bob, Merrill got him to strike out the first time they faced each other tonight.
Yeah, it's a good thing to keep Riley off the bases and out of the bleachers. Everything down now. He elevated a sinker right there, but right back out on that outside corner with the last 2 pitches, a cutter and a changeup for strike 3. Outstanding.
You know what was great about that? The locations. All on the edge, down and away. Incredible. And there's another one right there, that cutter down low. One of the most dangerous hitters in the league, big Austin Riley.
You know, we talk a lot about TMP, which has plagued a lot of the Diamondback starters this year. Too many pitches. Here's how it comes about. Against Sean Murphy, Merrill was ahead 0-2. 6 pitches later, Murphy hits a home run. He was ahead of Ozzie Albies 0-2. 5 pitches later, he struck him out. And also on Nick Allen, the number 9 hitter, he was 0-2 on him, and 5 pitches later, he got him to ground out to shortstop. You'd like to see some of these guys finish him off on that 3rd or 4th pitch rather than extend the at-bat.
He's at 50 pitches through 2 1/3. Boy, look, we just talked about that. Look at that location right there. I mean, he dotted that sinker right on the edge of the zone.
I've heard hitting coaches talk about unhittable strikes. That might be one right there. Started over in the left-handed batter's box, tails right back to the outside corner at the knees. You can't really hit that pitch.
Ozuna hit one a mile his first time up, his 5th of the year. Upper deck and left. Same pitch, same spot. Got the call that time. Ozuna's might not be convinced. He knows he is leading the major leagues, Marcell Ozuna, in walks. He has suddenly found a whole boatload of patience.
You could win a lot of bar bets with that one.
Absolutely.
Marcell Ozuna? Are you kidding me?
Threw a base on balls in his first plate appearance last night. He leads the league in on base percentage, in fact, Marcell Ozuna. Now at the age of 34, his 6th season with the Braves. In his 13th year in the big leagues. Boy, Marcell Ozuna, he can be a problem. 2-out single.
Ozuna waits on that sinker, gets in that down and in location, just drops the bat head on it. Another ball barreled up into left field by Ozuna. And he's definitely a guy you got to keep an eye on tonight. Looks like he's locked in.
Can't mess around with Matt Olson either. Olson hit that foul pop up third base side on which Eugenio Suárez made a terrific catch, basket catch, running down the stairs of the dugout.
Gino has left the building.
What a stop by Tim Tawa. He got him. Tim Tawa at second base. A tremendous stop to take a base hit away from Matt Olson. We got a good one going here tonight. Diamondbacks and the Braves. Well, when I have questions about trends, what's on trend, what's off trend, I go to Bob Brenly, like most of us around here do. You can purchase the special event ticket pack for Friday, May 16th, and get the exclusive Dbacks Common Hype hat and a game ticket at the game against the Rockies. And as usual, you've stolen an advance copy.
This is a beauty. It's got the little snake logo there with Arizona. And look at this. D-backs underneath the bill. You're going to want one of these. Well, not this one.
In rehearsal, you put it on your head and flip the lid up.
Yeah, well. Yeah, I guess you could do that.
Well, that's why that's the writing, from what I understand. Jorge Barrosa starts us off in the bottom of the third against Grant Holmes. Jorge in left field. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. getting a much needed night off tonight. Barrosa made his first start of the year last night in center and did well. Delivered an RBI single.
Well, I couldn't help thinking on the way home last night how that game would have been different if some of the Diamondbacks foul home runs would have been fair. I mean, 3 of them narrowly missed the foul poles down the right and left field line.
Tawa should have had a couple of home runs.
Yeah. Barrosa hit one almost 400 feet just foul down the right field line.
And then, of course, the Corbin Carroll one was called a home run and then got overturned when it was clearly foul. Now Holmes with a slider. That's his most effective pitch, Grant Holmes. That slider gets a lot of swing and miss. And that's his first strikeout.
Yeah, if you look at the charts, it'll say that Grant Holmes throws 5 different pitches, actually 6 different pitches, but really he relies mostly on 3: the fastball, slider, curveball combination. The other pitches are what I would call show me pitches. If he gets ahead in the count, he might bounce a changeup in the dirt just to show it to a hitter.
Here is Tim Tawa, the second baseman, who just made that spectacular defensive play. And Tim's rookie success story continues. The batting average up to .256. He got 4 homers in his first 14 big league games. He walked and singled last night. I talked with Joe Mather for a while today, the Diamondbacks hitting coach, and he made a great point, which naturally I didn't even think of. That's why Joe's the hitting coach and not me. Is that when opponents look at Tim Tawa, they keep in mind he's got Corbin Carroll on deck behind him. And so in that sense, you think, okay, Tim Tawa's batting 9th. He's a rookie, but this is a big bat in the lineup because they don't want to put a runner on base ahead of Corbin Carroll, obviously. And so they have to be careful the way they pitch to Tim Tawa. So Tim will have to maintain some patience up there, but if he can, he's going to get some pitches to hit. And so far he's been hitting them.
Yes, he has. Now, a great example was that 2-0 pitch right there from Holmes. He threw him a slider for a strike on a 2-0 count. Now, normally the number 9 hitter in the lineup, you throw strikes and hope they put it in play quickly and move on to the next hitter. Tawa is not your typical 9 hitter.
And Corbin Carroll, not your typical leadoff hitter.
No.
So it's nice to have these guys back to back. It works out well. So the league, as they learn about Tim Tawa, Joe was telling me, and they adjust to him, and that adjustment always seems to come. He's going to have to stay disciplined up there and try. Teams are going to try to get him to chase and let him get himself out. And that's a good example right there. He's not biting on that slider, and Tawa's worked the count full 3-2. And you got Corbin lurking in the on-deck circle behind him. Other part of that too is you can't throw many cookies because, as he's shown, he's going to hit him out of the park. Tao has hit in 4 straight games, 5 of his last 6. Another good at bat for Tim right here. Did he check? Nope. Then Vondrak rings him up. A couple of strikeouts open up the 3rd for Holmes. And the Boo Birds are out. Let's have a look.
I think the boos are for the first base umpire for calling this a
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very close.
So bases empty, 2 down for Corbin, who flying out to center to lead it off for the Diamondbacks. Slider right at the knees for a strike. Corbin tripled last night. He is the major league leader in both extra base hits and total bases. You look at the National League, and you don't want to get too hung up on Player of the Month, but it's something to at least discuss here on April 26th. You look at the National League with Corbin Carroll, Pete Alonso, Kyle Tucker. And these guys are head and shoulders above everybody else. The numbers are insane.
Well, just to illustrate your point, they've got a graphic up on the scoreboard. Look at that. I mean, on most of the statistical websites, red is good, blue is bad. Look at him. Just amazing where he ranks among major league hitters.
98th, 97th percentile in just about everything. Hard hit balls, exit velocity. Oh boy, got caught looking at a fastball right there as Holmes strikes out the side in the 3rd, 1-2-3, and leads it 2-1.
While we have a moment, let's take a look at our Liberty Mutual Insurance field coverage. This was back in 1989. That's Kevin Mitchell barehanding a pop-up in foul territory at Busch Stadium off the bat of Ozzie Smith. The reason that's such a great catch is because he caught it. I mean, Mitch wasn't a great outfielder. Terry Kennedy couldn't stop laughing at him, but he overran the ball, reached back with his bare hand, and made the play. Nice going, Mitch.
That's a This Week in Baseball classic.
Oh, it is. He was one of the funniest guys I ever played with.
Sean Murphy, who homered to lead off the 2nd, leads off the 4th against Merrill Kelly. Braves with 2 solo home runs. Ozuna in the 1st, Murphy the 2nd. Diamondbacks with a solo homer. Eugenio Suárez in the 2nd inning. Gino's 7th of the year. That's all the scoring so far, as Murphy starts us off for the 4th. Not only did he make that catch, but he was one of the most fearsome hitters in the league for about a decade.
I think he had 47 home runs that year. Just fearsome is a good way to put it. Nobody wanted to pitch to him.
Some guys are like Gary Sheffield was another you described as fearsome.
Dave Parker.
Yeah, they were gonna hurt the baseball. You felt bad for the baseball. 1-2. Murphy, Albies, Harris, 5, 6, and 7 in the Atlanta 4th. Sinker's low.
Once again, another 0-2 count that is run full. I mean, obviously the hitter has to cooperate a little bit and chase some of those borderline pitches in order to have quick at bats, but just hate to see so many pitches.
Wow. So he loses Murphy. First walk issued by Merrill tonight. This is what happened in part with Zach Gallen in that game last night. Ozzie Albies struck out his first time up. Albies shoots it down the line, but foul. And there's Bill Callison, our Golden Glover down there. He's one of the rookies. And we have decided that he is Mr. Bill. Now he has a Mr. Bill mascot somewhere there that we gave him from the old Saturday Night Live classic bit, Mr. Bill. So that's Bill Callison down there. We got Cross up in left field. Lisa's down there, Lisa Cross. He's supposed to take the Mr. Bill thing and strap. There's Lisa. But Bill Callison is supposed to take the Mr. Bill thing and strap it. He's got like a, what do you call it? One of those keychain things. He's got it on him down there.
Yeah, it's right there on the pole hanging down. No.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Oh no! He's going to be mean to me. What we need is the claymation figure and the hammer, just like they used to do back. Just Mr. Hands would come in and smash him.
Maybe when we go to Atlanta, because they have the tool race where they smash each other.
That. Yeah, that's one of the best ones. Tim Towel, pretty. Oh, Perdomo had to make sure he didn't drop it there, as Murphy was coming into second. Nice play by Tim Tower to get that started. That'll bring up Michael Harris the second. And it's a look at our player profile brought to you by Progressive, the National League Rookie of the Year from a few years back. And they didn't waste any time. They said, you know, this kid's pretty good. Let's give him $72 million. And so they did.
I mentioned last night I talked to Tom Goodwin, their outfield instructor last season. He said this guy's going to win a whole bunch of Gold Gloves out there in center field.
Really good young player.
And that's kind of the trend in the game nowadays. If you identify a guy like Michael Harris or Corbin Carroll or Geraldo Perdomo as being part of your future moving forward, why not go ahead and lock him up, because it's going to cost you a lot more down the road.
Justin Martinez, Brandon Pfaadt all joined that club. Kind of joke with Mike Hazen, you're like Oprah. You get a car and you get a car. And Mike was like, oh, so I'm Oprah. Yeah, you're Oprah. Okay. Little tapper. Merrill will go to first. And that's the second out of the fourth as Albies moves up.
Good job there by Gabby coming out from behind home plate. A little slowly tapped ball back to the mound right there. Merrill, because he is so quick with his feet and his throwing arm, he might have had thoughts about going for second, but Gabby could see the runner going first to second and was pointing at the bag at first and screaming at Merrill to get one, get one.
Eli White flied out in the second, the right fielder. White played parts of 3 seasons with Texas, was injured for much of that time. He really had a difficult time. Right elbow UCL repair, then a broken right wrist. Bounced around, but he's found a home with the Braves. 11th round pick back in the day out of Clemson. Fights off that sinker, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harold Kelly over his last 3 starts beat the Orioles, beat the Marlins, pitched very well last weekend against the Cubs. Last 3 starts he's given up just 4 earned runs, but tonight he trails at 2-1. He couldn't quite hang on. The changeup that time. Opponents against Merrill Kelly in those last 3 starts, Baltimore, Miami, and Chicago, have a batting average against him of just 131. So far, 2 runs, 4 hits for the Braves through 3 2/3. Pitch count up over 70 now. Bullpen, we're told, by Torey Lovello today, fully gassed up. Everybody, thanks to Gilbert Diaz in no small part last night, is set to go, including Justin Martinez.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did, says Glenn Vondrak. And Merrill gets strikeout number 4. They strand Albies down there at second. You're watching the Diamondbacks Baseball Network, presented by Progressive. We'll get ready for the first meeting of the year. The Diamondbacks and the Dodgers as the Shohei Ohtani show comes to town starting on May the 8th. 8, 9, 10, and 11. It's a 4-game set, and we can tell you tickets are going fast. Get yours right now at Dbacks.com. Dodgers coming to town starting on May the 8th. All right, that's how to do it right there. It's outstanding work.
Snacks.
I must have at one point had like 500,000 of those little plastic helmets. Put away a lot of ice cream back in the day. Geraldo Perdomo starts us off in the 4th. Jerry walked his first time. The at-bats, you're looking for a little more patience from Perdomo. That's one of his trademarks, but he's kind of gone the other way lately. And the batting average has dipped a bit. Two balls and one strike up there against right-hander Grant Holmes. Jerry not biting on that slider. It's 3-1. Perdomo, Pavin, Naylor, 2, 3, and 4 coming up.
Nice.
Perdomo has been up twice and he's walked twice. And we'll get it started in the 4th. Perdomo's aboard for Pavin. Pavin grounded to first into a double play his first time up. The DH bats 3rd. Pavin last year hit the ball harder and pulled the ball more than ever before. Both those numbers are well up even further this year at career highs. He's hitting the ball hard to his pull field, getting it up in the air, which we saw him do for much of the final month of last year. That's carried over into this season. Pavin's outstanding start, you have to believe, goes back to his great September last season. 6 homers in that final month of last year. 19 RBIs in 22 games.
It makes it a lot easier to get out of bed early in the morning and go to the batting cages after you've had success the final month of the season, as opposed to going for September. You don't even want to go to the batting cage in the off season.
Well, he talked about that. He said he's more comfortable and more confident because this was the first off season he's had in quite some time that he wasn't searching for something, trying to tell himself, all right, what am I doing wrong? What do I need to change? How do I need to adjust? He didn't have to do that because he had that great September last year. He just stayed locked in, and boy, the results have been impressive. Snuck that fastball in there. It's 2-2. There was no big overhaul necessary this winter. It's carried over into the spring.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
It ain't broke. Not offering at that slider. Starting to lay off that slider down a little bit more the second time through. And the count is full 3-2. Perdomo takes off, and Pavin takes the walk. Back-to-back walks open up the 4th. Diamondbacks staying patient, and they're set up for Naylor. Talked about the issues that Grant Holmes can occasionally have with command control. Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, goes out there. He has, in the past, despite the good record, gotten himself into a bit of a pickle with bases on balls. He has walked 4 batters in a game in 3 of his 4 starts this year.
A couple of really good at bats to start this 4th inning. Now you get into the meat of the lineup. This is when they need to do some damage right here. They've left a ton of base runners on base recently.
That's been a big part of the difficult week they've had. It's in these spots where they don't get the runs home. Josh lined out deep to center his first time up. No outs to start the 4th. Perdomo's at second and Pavin's at first. Crushed that cutter in there for ball 1. At this point, you have to make him throw you a few strikes, don't you? Because he's having trouble.
Yeah, I mean, why not run a pitch count up on an opposing pitcher once in a while? Make him throw that ball in the strike zone.
See if he gets a cookie on 2-0. Josh took a rip, bounces it up the line. Olsen has only 1 play. They at least move the runners along. And that's the first out in the 4th.
Small consolation for Josh Naylor, but it does move both runners into scoring position, as you mentioned.
And a chance for Gabby, who delivered an RBI double in the game here last night. He grounded out his first time up in tonight's game, batting 5th in the lineup. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. getting a scheduled off day, so the lineup adjusts a bit. Gabby in the 5-hole. Base hit here gives them the lead, down 2-1 in the 4th. And Moreno, the hitter, he's hit in 3 of his last 4. Don't forget the Dbacks 50-50 jackpot, now up over $61,000. We're going to have an enormous jackpot. We're headed for 6 figures tonight. Dbacks.com/5050. You can get your tickets online from anywhere in the state of Arizona before the end of the 7th inning. Dbacks.com/5050. Yeah, we're going to hit 100,000 tonight. It is an enormous crowd in here for this one. A great atmosphere. Beautiful night for baseball. Well, he's gone to 3 balls in the first 3 batters of the inning.
And apparently Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, went out there and said, don't forget your fastball. I think he's thrown all fastballs since that mound visit.
He's not throwing them for strikes. Suarez on deck. Gino homered in the 2nd. Took a rip at a 3-1 belt-high fastball and missed it. And it's full 3-2. Great look from the wire cam here. A packed house at Chase Field. We're well over 40,000 in here tonight. Replica jersey giveaway was a tremendous success. See the jerseys all over there. I mean, this place is full up. This is just fantastic.
Really nice.
Here's the jersey. A lot of Diamondback fans here. 3-2 to Gabby. That slider out over the plate. He's making some location mistakes, Holmes.
You know, we ought to give instructions to fans on nights like this. Anybody sitting in the bowl behind home plate when the Diamondbacks are hitting, exhale.
Just make sure you bring some, Altoids or something. Again on 3-2.
They used to accuse them of that at the old Homer Dome in Minnesota.
Yeah, they would turn the AC on and off depending when the Twins were batting.
Yeah.
That was the conspiracy theory anyway. You can imagine Grant Holmes' long hair sort of billowing in the wind. Perdomo's at 3rd. Smith's at 2nd.
What must that feel like?
We threw him a couple of sliders there and then the fastball away. Gabby's fouled all of them off. Holmes now at 60 pitches. Only 32 for strikes. You walked the first 2 batters in this inning and you want to make him pay for that. Well, this is a battle right here.
I have nothing to back this up other than what I've seen. It seems like the longer the at-bat goes on, the more the advantage goes to the hitter.
I would think.
You see that release point over and over and over again. You see the rotation on the pitch over and over again.
Wow. Ooh. Fighting off sliders and fastballs. And even if the guy up there who sees the 9 or 10 pitches doesn't get a hit, somebody behind him usually cashes in, because you've worn the pitcher out. Another 3-2. Moreno left center, and it's down for a base hit. Perdomo scores. Here comes Pavin. Gabriel Moreno makes it 3-2 Diamondbacks.
Boy, he earned that.
Oh yeah, did he ever? That was a heck of an at bat. As both those leadoff walks come in to score.
Tries to drop that slider on the outside corner. Wasn't a poor pitch from Holmes that time, but Gabby just went down and dug it out, bangs it into left center field, driving home both of the runners.
Tremendous at bat by Gabby. Now Gino, who homered in the second. A home run for Suarez, his 7th. Make it 3-2 Diamondbacks after they trailed 2-zip. Fastball misses in. It's 1-1. Low with a fastball. Done a pretty good job, Holmes, keeping that slider down around the knees. Hasn't made too many mistakes with it. Thomas on deck. 2-2 on Eugenio Suárez. Up and in with a heater. It's another full count in the inning. .30 pitches in this 4th inning so far for Grant Holmes. Suarez, fly ball, left field. It's going, and it's gone.
What a difference a couple of days make. We talked about it before the game. He was our highlighted player for the Diamondbacks based on the 2 walks that he drew in the ball game last night. And usually hard hit balls follow walks. Gino narrowing that strike zone down and handling pitches he can handle.
His at bats this week have been so much better than the previous 2-3 weeks. Another multi-homer game for Suarez, numbers 7 and 8 on the year. And he's one behind Corbin Carroll for the National League lead. Alec Thomas has a base hit to right field. 3 consecutive Diamondback hits. And there's still only 1 out in the inning. That was 104 miles an hour off Alec's bat.
Oh, he goes down and gets a slider well below the zone. Bangs it over Ozzie Albies' head toward that gap in right center.
Jorge Barrosa the hitter now. Barrosa the start in left field. Activity. Scott Blewett, the right-hander in the Atlanta bullpen. Diamondbacks had only 1 hit coming into this inning. That was the Gino homer in the second. So far they've had 2 walks, 3 hits, and 4 runs in this half inning alone. And Holmes, who needed only 38 pitches to get through the first 3 innings, is well over 30 just in this 4th. It all started with patience at the plate and those 2 leadoff walks. Credit to Perdomo and Pavin. They both came to score on the Gabby single, and Gino cleaned it up with a second home run of the night. The best part of this for me is that it's the right-hand bats, that cluster of right-hand bats that has struggled now for weeks. Gurriel's off tonight, but you've got Gabby, you've got Gino, guys that have been scuffling. The right-hand bats having big nights today. That's a great sign because you're going to see some lefties on that next road trip against the Mets and the Phillies. Jorge reaches out, taps it to Riley. They go to second for one, and that's it. As Jorge gets up the line to get the force on Alec for the second out. And Tim Towel will be the batter.
One thing about the emergence of not only the right-handed hitters, but a lot of the lefties too. It's only human nature for a ball player to want to hit your way out of a slump. I need to get some hits. I need to get some hits, and they end up chasing bad pitches. Patience, patience, patience.
Talked to Joe Mather about that. He calls it chasing hits. You don't want to chase hits. Riley charges. Tower gets up the line. And a nice play by Austin Riley, but a big inning for the Diamondbacks. Perdomo and Pavin walk to lead it off. Moreno the 2-run single, and then Gino the 2-run home run, his second home run tonight. And after 4, it's 5-2 Diamondbacks. Dodgers coming to town early May, Diamondback fans, and May 9th is the date to get your tickets at dbacks.com/MEX. It's a special event ticket pack. What a night. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. You can get this exclusive Mexican heritage jersey. Bob Brenly's already stolen his advanced copy.
I have a feeling Santa's going to be wearing this when he comes down the chimney on Christmas Eve.
Christmas colors.
Yeah.
So you will re-gift for Christmas as always. But that is, yeah, that's a fantastic.
Nice one. Like it.
And these jerseys, like the replica jersey you gave away tonight, these are not cheapos. These are really quality jerseys. These are the real deal things. Nick Allen starts off the 5th. Merrill Kelly now with a 5-2 lead. Jammed him. Gino, tricky play, makes it. Talked about how they made Grant Holmes work in that 4th inning, particularly the 2 leadoff walks that got everything kick-started. Geraldo Perdomo and Pavin Smith. Holmes threw 3 innings and thrown 38 pitches. He threw 39 pitches in the 4th.
Wow.
Alex Verdugo 0 for 2. Here's Grant Holmes out of Conway, South Carolina. Verdugo sends it deep to center. Alec Thomas is there. Well, we've been focusing on the matchup, Merrill Kelly and Austin Riley. This is their at bat in the 3rd.
Yeah, cutter away. Change up down. There's the elevated sinker, and then just absolutely paints the outside corner with another sinker.
Yeah, he's faced him twice. He struck him out twice. Merrill so far has walked 1. He's punched out 4. Allowed 2 runs on 4 hits. A couple of solo homers. Ozuna in the 1st and Murphy in the 2nd. Starts him off with a sinker for a strike. Right to Merrill. And a hustle over there. Naylor gets to the spot. Merrill set down 6 in a row and leads it 5-2.
5-2 Diamondbacks, bottom 5th here at Chase Field. I'm Todd Walsh. Pay careful attention to what you're about to hear from manager Troy Lavello, who said, hey, it's too early to see Ketel Marte in New York on this road trip, but he was asked, would it be awkward if he flew to the team in Philadelphia?
Not too awkward for me. That sounds like a really good idea to me. So, I don't know. We'll see.
So, Steve, with Corbin Carroll at the plate, I love that earlier today. And remember, Ketel today in the extended spring game ran one off the wall, hit 2 home runs, 3 innings in the field he played, and they say he ran the bases, but of course he was jogging because he hit him deep. We'll see, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, they are extremely encouraged, Todd, as you know, with Ketel's progress coming off that hamstring thing. He's doing wonderfully well. And you've got Kevin Ginkel making a 2nd appearance with Reno today. I would not be stunned to see Kevin at some point in the Mets series when we open up in New York on that road trip and then go to Philly. Ketel TBD. But he is really doing well. Holmes at 80 pitches as Corbin Carroll leads off the 5th. Kendall Graveman also threw today. Faced 6 batters, had 3 strikeouts as Corbin punches out for the 2nd time. So Ginkel is close to coming back. Kendall Graveman might be about a week behind, and Ketel Marte is doing very well, so the injury front is very encouraging. And Geraldo Perdomo steps in. He has walked twice and scored a run so far.
Never know for sure if a batter has something in his eye or not. It might be a stalling tactic. You don't really know.
Pretty soon you're going to make him prove it.
Let me see your eyeball.
There's nothing in there. Get in the box. Jammed him that time. Scoops it high in the air, short left. Verdugo is there, and quickly 2 down in the Diamondback 5th.
Partner, when this game started, there was quite a bit of wind swirling around here at Chase Field. The 2 big flags out above the scoreboard were flapping. We could feel the wind blowing up here in the booth, but it's really calmed down as the game has moved forward.
And these are the nights. I mean, it is just perfect here tonight. These are the ones you think about in July and August. When it's 100 and whatever. But this is, oh, this is just superlative tonight. 0-1. A little low that time with a changeup. Haven won't bite. It's a ball and a strike. Tony Randazzo back there, the veteran umpire, calling balls and strikes. Don't forget our 50-50 jackpot. We just crossed $80,000. I'm telling you, we're going to 100. We're going to have a 6-figure number by the time we're done tonight. So get in on the action. Half the jackpot can be yours. Dbacks.com/5050. Our Give Back 50-50 raffle supported by Abden Cares. Right now we're knocking on the door of 81,000 in the 5th inning. Haven fair over the bag. Olson's there, and so is Holmes, and it's a 1-2-3 5th inning for the Diamondbacks. It's D-backs baseball. We're being brought to you by Y-Refi. Tonight's game is presented by Budweiser. Beautiful night in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. Just perfect weather. Diamondbacks have a 5-2 lead over the Braves. Merrill Kelly has sent down 6 in a row in front of a 40,000+ crowd here at Chase Field. And Marcell Ozuna, who has homered and singled, starts us off in the Atlanta 6th.
How about this? Ozuna was the only Brave not to record a hit in the ball game last night. He's 2 for 2 with exit velocities of 108 and 110.
That went right between Tom Candiotti and Chris Gargiole in the right radio booth to our right there. Neither guy even blinked. Cool, calm, and collected in there.
Go foul.
Merrill at 80 pitches through 5. And you'd like to see him get on one of his runs. He has remarkable ability to get on these runs and just shut down the other side. We talked about how he retired the final 16 batters he faced consecutively in that start last week at Chicago. And in the start previous to that, when he beat the Marlins in Miami, retired the final 11 straight, 15 of the last 16. He can get on these rolls. And he's ahead of Ozuna to start the 6th. Right to Gino. Strong, perfect throw. 7 straight set down by Merrill Kelly. And so maybe we have the makings here of another Merrill the mainstay run as Matt Olson steps in. He's 0 for 2.
That'd be just what the doctor ordered. I mean, even though Torres said the bullpen is locked, loaded, and ready to go today, I'd love to see Merrill get into the 7th inning today.
Get some quick outs here. Olson has been the victim of 2 outstanding defensive plays by the Diamondbacks. In the 1st inning, Eugenio Suárez made a basket catch and a foul pop-up as he was going down the dugout stairs. And then Tim Tawa made a spectacular diving stop at second. So Olson has made the final out in both the first and the third his first 2 times up, and he's down 0-2 right here. Merrill so far has walked 1. He's got 4 strikeouts. Carter didn't get there. 1-2. Bounce to second. Tim Tawa. Tawa's really settled in defensively. When he first came up, Bob, as you pointed out, he would tend to speed up on defense, but boy, he looks real comfortable down there now.
And has shown great range both to his right and his left. He took that base hit away from Olson in his last at bat with a nice diving play in the hole between first and second.
Merrill looking for what would be his second consecutive 1-2-3 inning. Murphy, the catcher's homered and walked. No sign of those, I hesitate to say it, the cramping issues that flared up at Wrigley Field last weekend. Right on the corner with a fastball. Diamondbacks lead at 5-2. Each team has 4 hits. Each team has homered twice. Ozuna and Murphy for the Braves. Suarez twice for the Diamondbacks.
Three batters Merrill has faced in this ball game. This is the 9th time he's had an 0-2 count.
90 pitches, 62 strikes.
Now, as we mentioned early on, some of those 0-2 counts turned into full counts, turned into base hits. Put them away.
I don't know, considering the cramping thing that Merrill had jump up on him last week, if Torey Lovullo would give him another up down. That's something they keep track of as much as the pitch counts, the up down, which is ending one inning, getting back up and starting the next. Geraldo Perdomo. Merrill, the mainstay, 9 consecutive retired. He's through 6 with a 5-2 lead.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field. All eyes on the Reno Aces these days, and one guy in particular, and with good reason. How about Jordan Lawler last night? 3 for 5 with a double, a triple, knocked in a couple, and scored 3 runs. The Aces beat Albuquerque 17-11, pounded out 21 hits. Jake McCarthy with 3 of those hits, 3 runs, a double, and a triple. So the major leagues awaits for Jordan Lawler. We just don't know when.
Or where. Where does he play? That's another issue.
Well, there's that, yeah.
For sure. And we'll talk to Jesse Borek from MLB Pipeline tomorrow, as we like to do on our Sunday home games. Jesse will be with us in the booth, and we'll talk some Diamondback prospects during our broadcast tomorrow. As Josh Naylor starts us off in the bottom of the 6th inning. And he sends it out to Verdugo in left. 6 in a row set down by Grant Holmes, who was settled down after that bumpy previous inning. Sanderson Ford bullpen, the right-hander Ryan Thompson. Here's Gabby, who had the first big hit in that 4-run 4th. A long battle with Holmes, fouled off a whole mess of 3-2 pitches and delivered a 2-run single into left center. Eugenio Suárez homered with his second home run, or followed with his second home run tonight. And the Diamondbacks have a 5-2 lead. Holmes now at the 90 pitch mark. Scott blew it up for the second time in the Atlanta bullpen. Holmes out of Conway, South Carolina. He was drafted out of high school there in 2014 by the Dodgers as a first-round pick. reaches out, pokes it to Allen at shortstop. Holmes was traded by the Dodgers to Oakland. Pitched in their minor league system for a long time. Was released and picked up by the Braves. As Gino comes in so far. 2 at-bats, 2 home runs. The StatCast presented by Budweiser.
It's down and out over the plate. Sent it high in the air to left field. That one was a little bit more up in the zone.
Suarez hits another fly ball. Gone!
Oh, my!
Gino, 3 at-bats and 3 home runs. The trifecta for Suarez.
Wow.
When he hits them, as we learned when the season started, they come in bunches.
Oh, hanging breaking ball, 85, belt high inside part of the plate. Man, is he locked in right now? It didn't take long.
That's going to be it for Holmes. Brian Snitker will take the baseball. And Eugenio Suárez, the at-bats over the course of this week have been more patient, less chase, more plate discipline, and it's paying off. 3 swings for Gino, 3 homers. Back after this. There's the man of the hour, Eugenio Suárez. 3 at-bats, 3 home runs, now 9 on the year, tied with Corbin Carroll for the major league lead. And here pitching for his 3rd team this season already is the right-hander Scott Blewett. He started out with Minnesota. Made 2 appearances as a Twin. Made 2 appearances with Baltimore. After Minnesota let him go, the Orioles picked him up. And now he's making his 2nd appearance with Atlanta after he was purchased from Baltimore. Scott Blewett, the right-hander. Alec Thomas, the hitter. Alec rolls over to second. Holmes has it. Eugenio Suárez, numbers 7, 8, 9, and it's 6-2 Diamondbacks. Here's what's coming up for the Diamondbacks. Desert Financial gives us a look at the upcoming schedule. 1 more to go against the Braves tomorrow, and that might be the best pitching matchup of this entire series. Brandon fought against Spencer Schwellenbach, who was a tremendous young pitcher for the Braves. Brandon goes into that start tomorrow, 4-1 on the year. And after the game, we fly back to New York. That's right, our 2nd trip to New York this month on off day Monday, then 3 at Citi Field against the Mets. We take a bus down to Philly, 3 against the Phillies at the bank, and then come back home and play the Mets again, as it's a tour of the National League East. 4 consecutive series against that division. And we'll unleash Gino Suárez on the Mets and the Phillies on the next road trip. Ryan Thompson starts the 7th against Ozzie Albies. Ryan, 9 appearances this year. He pitched 4 seasons with Tampa Bay, and he worked both the first 2 games of that Rays series this week. He pitched on Tuesday and Wednesday. Albies 0 for 2 against Merrill Kelly. Just under the glove of a diving nailer, and Albies has a base hit to start the 7th.
How about this for Gino Suárez? He's had 3 at-bats in the ball game. As you get another look at Albies' base hit to start this inning, Gino's had 3 at-bats. He's swung the bat 4 times, and he's hit 3 home runs.
It's the 4th 3-homer game in the majors this year. Aaron Judge, Ivan Herrera, and Jose Ramirez have the other 3. And it's the first 3-homer game at Chase since, or first 3-homer game at Chase by a Diamondback since last July, when Gino Suárez did it against the Nationals. It's the 2nd multi-homer game this season. Michael Harris II is the batter. But still some work to do here as we start the 7th inning. And it's Suárez in foul ground. Gino's had himself a night. I still think the highlight was that basket catch running down the stairs of the dugout, but there's one away here.
Gino has hit 1,272 feet worth of home runs tonight. 418, 411, and 443.
Gino chant is starting to rise up from this enormous crowd here, and I promised you we'd get to triple digits, and we're over $106,000 now in our 50-50. Albies on the run. Gabby, the throw is a good one, but Albies sneaks in there with his 3rd stolen base of the year.
Yeah, now not much Gabby could do right there. He got a big jump on Ryan Thompson, and the pitch was inside to a right-handed hitter. Always tougher for the catcher to reach to his left and then bring that ball all the way across his body before firing to second base. Good throw, just a tad late.
Ball one to the right fielder Eli White, who was 0 for 2. Don't forget, you have them to the end of this 7th inning to get your tickets online at dbacks.com/5050. White down the left field line, and that ball goes off the pole for a home run. Eli White continues his big weekend series here in Phoenix, and suddenly it's a ball game again, 6-4.
Well, it's hard not to be impressed with what Eli White has done in the first 2 games of this series. He's a one-man wrecking crew.
Single, double, drove in 2 runs last night. 2 more RBIs with that swing.
Yeah, flat slider right in the middle of the plate that time. He wanted it away from him. Unfortunately, it just spun up there in the middle of the plate.
Eli White has 7 RBIs this year. All 7 have come in his last 3 games. He hit a big 8th inning 3-run homer to break a 1-1 tie Wednesday. They beat the Cardinals in Atlanta. He drove in a couple of runs last night. There's 2 more with that swing right there. Nick Allen is the hitter, the shortstop. So Ryan Thompson comes in. They get 2 back right away. Still 1 out in the 7th. And that one is out to right. Corbin Carroll makes a sliding grab. That's the Diamondbacks' 3rd outstanding defensive play tonight. Out number 2 in the 7th.
That line drive right at an outfielder is always the toughest one, but Corbin got a nice jump on that ball, makes a sliding catch, looks it all the way into the glove.
That's become his trademark, that slide. He keeps his hands and wrists up, which you love to see. Avoid injuries. Sinker at the knees to Verdugo, is 0 for 3.
Steve Finley was a master of that when he played for me. He never dove headfirst for a ball in the outfield. He would always slide the way Corbin Carroll does in order to protect your hands and your wrists when you go down to the ground.
Verdugo to center. Alec Thomas in the gap. Eli White's 2nd of the season has made it 6-4 as we stretch at Chase Field. Diamondback defense on display in the T-Mobile coverage cam. We start with Eugenio Suárez in the 1st, right down the stairs. And then in the 3rd, Tim Tawa at second base. Both those plays against Matt Olson, by the way. And then in the 7th inning, Nick Allen out to right. Corbin Carroll with a trademark slide. Our T-Mobile coverage cam with some Diamondback defense. 6-4, however, as Eli White's home run has made it a 2-run Diamondback lead. Jorge Barroso 0 for 2. Starts us off in the home half of the 7th against Scott Blewett, making just his 2nd appearance for Atlanta, as Murphy has an equipment issue here.
Scott Blewett, I checked the stat sheet. I was hoping that he would have 1 save opportunity this year, but he blew it.
Bob Brenly, ladies and gentlemen, the comedy stylings. Yeah, it's not. It's like being, it's like Bob Walk. Like,
yeah.
Especially if you're a reliever, you don't want to be.
Right.
Well, we wish him the best. Just not right now.
Get good on Monday.
Pretty impressive, though. It's April 26th. He's pitching for his 3rd team this season already. Good splitter right there, and it's 1-2.
Slider, fastball, splitter combination from Blewett. That's a good splitter right there.
It's a 2nd-round pick out of Baldwinsville, New York, out of high school there by the Royals back in 2014. He's pitched with Kansas City, Minnesota, Baltimore, now Atlanta. The last 3 teams all this season. Barossa, Tawa, Carroll, 8-9-1. And the Diamondbacks 7th. They have been out hit 6-5, but they lead it 6-4. 3 Eugenio Suárez home runs tonight. Don't forget, coming up May 11th, part of that Dodgers series, you can get a ticket to the game against the Dodgers and a pregame photo on the field when you purchase our special event ticket pack. Family photo on the field, dbacks.com/family photos, May 11th. Dodgers will be here. And there's that slider now from Blewett. I guess you could say he blew it by him.
Yeah, you could do that.
You wouldn't want to. But
no.
That family photo's on the field. Take the Christmas picture. I still say a wedding. You know, book it, get married, come down here pregame, take the photos. 2 for 1, right?
Sure. Rent a suite, have the reception upstairs.
Call me a romantic.
You're a romantic.
Tim Towler. Sanderson for bullpen. The left-hander Jalen Beeks, who had that comebacker come off his left arm the other day, and apparently is just fine. He'll get the big boys in the top of the 8th inning. That's a tough lineup to navigate. Riley, Ozuna, Olsen. Well, you probably send out the right-hander Ryan Thompson back out for Riley and Ozuna. Then you got some lefties coming up behind him. See how Torlavello wants to play it. Pierce Johnson has started to warm up in the Atlanta bullpen. 2-1 on Tim Towler. There's Pierce Johnson. Big change for the Braves in their bullpen. They did not bring back A.J. Minter. He went to the Mets and they did not really replace him. And a lot of Braves fans have pointed out that, ooh, it's a big loss for that bullpen. Over the top of the 3-1 slider there. Corbin Carroll will be next. Corbin 0 for 3. Blewett with that splitter slider combo. 2 batters in this inning, 2 strikeouts.
And he throws more sliders than any other pitch. He leads with the slider, follows with the 4-seamer and the splitter. Usually the splitter when he's ahead in the count or looking for that ground ball.
Like to get Corbin in the hit column here. Diamondbacks still have only 5 hits, but 3 of them are Eugenio Suárez home runs.
Looks like Corbin has that bat even a little bit more pointed toward the pitcher tonight.
He's going to be like early 1980s Yaz.
He hasn't dipped it that far down in front, at least not that I've noticed.
It's a big rip. He's got that slider working. Struck out the first 2. Now it's 0-2 on Corbin. Corbin has hit in 4 straight, 16 of his last 17. Hitless so far tonight. And Scott blew it by him. He strikes out the side in the 7th. Diamondbacks Baseball Network being presented by Progressive.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Huge crowd here tonight. There they are on the wire cam, presented by Defy. It's Diamondbacks Baseball, Dbacks TV, powered by the resources of Major League Baseball. A big crowd, a big 50-50 jackpot, 6-4, Diamondbacks lead. We're at $124,000 in our Dbacks Give Back 50-50 raffle. Left-hander Jalen Beeks, a dozen appearances. He's worked 15 innings. Worked twice in the Tampa Bay series this week, but had to leave Thursday when he was struck by that line drive comebacker. And this is an interesting call by Torlavello here, Bob. You've got Beeks, the left-hander, out there. He gets 2 very tough righties in Riley and Ozuna before the left-hander Matt Olson.
Yeah, I thought we might see Ryan Thompson go back out and start this inning. I'm sure there's a reason for it. Maybe Ryan wasn't feeling it today. Maybe Torrey thought he threw too many pitches in his inning of work. But for whatever reason, Jalen Beeks out there on the mound to face a couple of tough righties to start this inning.
And I'm guessing that Justin Martinez, we're told everyone is available tonight, so he's saving Martinez for the 9th. So a lot on the shoulders of Jalen Beeks here against a couple of very difficult right-hand batters. Riley 0 for 3. And Beeks ahead 1-2.
Beeks is sneaky quick with that fastball. 95, 96. Almost has a little pause in his delivery. You'll see he kind of puts that ball on his left hip, and there's a slight pause before he drives toward home plate. Nice pitch.
Well, they know what they're doing. The changeup gets the swing and miss, and Riley strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Don't forget to get here early, May 17th. That's a Saturday. Rockies will be in town. Get your replica home jersey. Boy, we're giving away jerseys left and right. It's courtesy of Avnet. Secure your tickets, Dbacks.com. Diamondbacks and Rockies, May 17th is Saturday. The replica home jersey. Jalen Beeks got that changeup dancing up there. Ozuna, who homered in the 1st, is down 0-1 here in the 8th. Hard to imagine with the injuries to Kevin Ginkel, Kendall Graveman, A.J. Puck, some of the other struggles they've had, where the bullpen would be without Jalen Beeks had he not fallen from the sky and landed in a Diamondback uniform. And Jalen will let it go. Perdomo charges. Ozuna not running hard up the line, concedes the out.
Know your runner.
Runner is being kind in that case.
Yeah. I mean, you know ahead of the game, some guys are going to bust it down that line on a grounder like this. Other guys are just going to jog it through like Ozuna just did. That made it an easy play for Perdomo. Didn't really need to rush his throw, and they still get him by a bunch.
And in fairness, some guys are told not to hustle. You know, some of the older guys, take it easy. We don't want you pulling anything for no reason.
Yeah, back to Jalen Beeks for a minute. He'd thrown 15 innings before today, given up only 8 base hits and 1 run, a solo home.
And Olsen left on left now. Olsen 0 for 3. Began tonight with a 9-game hitting streak. Olsen, in fact, has hit in 12 of his last 13. Hit a couple of home runs earlier this week for the Braves. They swept the Twins at home, took 2 of 3 from St. Louis, and now here they are on a West Coast swing. Well, Jalen Beeks a strike away from a 1-2 3/8 inning. He has very quickly become a large unsung hero. Can you be a large unsung hero?
Yeah, I think so.
Murphy homered in the 2nd. He would be next. 2-2 on Matt Olson. Olson's very much a 3 true outcomes guy. He will walk, strike out, and hit home runs a lot. A couple of right-handers ready in the Atlanta bullpen. Johnson's been hot down there for a while. 3-2. He loses Olson, and the Braves will get the tying run to the plate. It's Sean Murphy, who homered in the 2nd and has been on a home run tear as of late. Homered twice for the Braves earlier this week when they were home against the Cardinals. Doubled and scored in the game last night. He has homered and walked tonight. Funny, we talked about the matchups, and Jalen Beeks made pretty short work of the 2 right-hand batters, then walked the lefty. So it shows you what we know.
Yep.
Bullpen quiet behind him. leaning on that changeup. Can't quite get it close enough for somebody to offer at it. Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach. Walk to Olsen with 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes on Sean Murphy. Well, decided to give the fastball a go just above the belt. 96 rushed it up there. Tried it again, 2-2. 43,043 in here tonight. They've had a lot to cheer about. And Beeks trying to add to that list. 2-2 on Murphy. Another heater. That's 3 straight fastballs. If he wants to go to that changeup now, he's got him set up. Walked Olsen on a 3-2 pitch. Albies would be next. Now the 3-2 to Murphy. Tried to change up. Murphy wouldn't bite. Back-to-back 2-out walks. Tying runs aboard. Albies will be the hitter. They'll spin him around to the right side. And Brian Kaplan will come out to the mound. We're back with you tomorrow afternoon, 12:30. Your pregame show, and I still think this will be the best pitching matchup of the series. Brandon fought 4-1 against Spencer Schwellenbach, and if you've not seen Spencer Schwellenbach, a really talented young right-hander that the Braves have. So tune in tomorrow, and we should have a dandy of a pitching matchup for you. Right now, it's Jalen Beeks and Ozzie Albies. Still no one warming up with the Diamondback bullpen. Spin Albies around. Got a pinch runner. Stuart Fairchild, the one-time Diamondback, will run for the catcher Murphy at first. He's the tying run. Down the line, just foul. Albies better from the left side this year. Pretty small sample size, but about a month's worth. He's a .208 hitter batting right-handed. Fairchild running for Murphy. That's a base hit into right center. Olsen will come around. Fairchild with good speed will stop at third. And Atlanta has the tying run 90 feet away. 3 consecutive have reached against Beeks with 2 outs.
Fastball up and out over the plate. Got barrel on it that time over the head of Tim Tawa. Gonna hustle it back in quickly. You mentioned Fairchild runs extremely well. Any mishandling of that ball, I'm sure Matt Tuiasosopo sends him on home.
Michael Harris, the second, is the hitter. And they'll get J Mart up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Harris singled in the second inning, 1 for 3. And a pair of singles in the game last night. Fairchild at third, the tying run. Albies good speed at first, the go-ahead run. High strike call from Tony Randazzo. Beeks caught a break right there. It's 1-1. He's had good life on that fastball tonight. The 1-2. Center field, Alec broke in, now drifts back, and it's over his head. Fairchild's home, Albies will score. Alec Thomas came in on that ball, and it carried over his head. And Atlanta has taken the lead. It's been a rough week for Diamondback defense. They have been outstanding defensively tonight, but Alec had a misread there.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier when that ball hit to Corbin Carroll, the toughest play for an outfielder is a line drive hit right at you, and Alec unfortunately reacted the wrong direction. Came in a step or two, tried to get back to the spot, but that hurts.
Atlanta with 2 in the 7th, now 3 in the 8th to take a 7-6 lead. Eli White is the hitter. There's a tapper back to the mound. And the lead is gone. Diamondbacks with some work to do. They trail it by 1 in the 8th. You can suit up this season at MLBshop.com. The largest selection of authentic caps, jerseys, t-shirts, hoodies, the whole thing. MLBshop.com. Your official source for your Diamondbacks gear. Another bullpen blow-up. Atlanta with 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. The defensive misplay in center field has led to 3 more Atlanta runs. The Diamondbacks will play from behind as Geraldo Perdomo leads off the bottom of the 8th inning against the right-hander on for the Braves. This is Daysbel Hernandez. His 12th appearance of the year and a 2.38 ERA. Terry has walked twice and scored a run. He's 0 for 1. Drake Baldwin, the rookie catcher, they like a whole lot. Takes over behind the plate after they ran for Murphy.
Mentioned coming into this series that the Braves don't really handle the running game very well. Sean Murphy, the starter, had given up 16 stolen bases, only caught 3, and Drake Baldwin in there now, 13 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing on the season.
Boy, Hernandez painted that corner up and away at 98 and did not get the call from Tony Randazzo. A break for Perdomo, who takes his timeout. Pavin Smith on deck, then it's Josh Naylor. Same spot again, doesn't get the call. It's full. Jerry's already walked twice tonight. And Perdomo's aboard. Boy, Hernandez was on the edges of the zone the entire at bat and did not get a call from Tony Randazzo. It's an enormous break as Perdomo walks for the 3rd time tonight, and the tying runs aboard with no outs ahead of Pavin Smith. Craving a Pavin home run.
There you go.
Pavin walked and scored in the 4th. He's 0 for 2.
That was an oddity. Hernandez had retired the first batter in all 16 of his major league experiences until tonight.
That's fair at first, and they have Perdomo hung up. That's the 2nd time that's happened to Pavin tonight, where he's hit a ball up that line. Olsen has snagged it, and it turned into a double play. Same thing happened back in the 1st.
You'll notice that Olsen didn't jump far off the bag after holding on Perdomo. That left him in good position to keep that ball out of the right field corner. And tough to get out of a rundown at the major league level.
Josh Naylor, the first baseman in the cleanup spot, is 0 for 3. Baldwin, the rookie catcher, out to talk to Hernandez. Now in his 3rd season with the Braves, Daysbel Hernandez, 28-year-old right-hander from Sandino, Cuba. David just hit into some bad luck. He grounded out to Olsen 3 times tonight, twice into a double play. Diamondbacks, after 6 innings, led it 6-2. They now trail it 7-6. Braves with 2 in the 7th and 3 in the 8th. 2-1 on Josh. Trey Jameson joins Justin Martinez in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Three balls and a strike on Naylor. Abby Moreno, who drove in a couple of runs with a single in the 4th, would be next. Oh boy, throw that pitch again.
Yeah, boy, Josh was selling out right there. He had one thing in mind: hit that ball in the pool.
Slider just hanging out over the plate. Not that time, because he says no. They get the tying run on base again with 2 outs this time for Gabby as Naylor draws a walk. Second walk in the inning issued by Hernandez. Moreno dropped a long at bat against Grant Holmes in the 4th inning. Foul left center for a 2-run single.
There's a big at bat in the game right now with Gino waiting on deck, and we know what he's done today.
3 swings, 3 home runs. Diamondbacks still have only 5 hits in the game. 3 of them are Suarez homers. That catcher back there, Greg Baldwin, is the guy they're really high on. He is a very good-looking young catching prospect.
Nice block right there. Covered that 5-hole. Kept the ball close enough that there was no chance for Naylor to advance.
2-2 on Gabby. Gino would be next. Home runs in the 2nd, the 4th, and the 6th. .99 up and in, and they strand Naylor. For the 9th, we go down 7-6. Welcome back to Chase Field, where the Diamondbacks had a 6-2 lead over the Braves, but Atlanta has stormed back, and the Diamondbacks trail at 7-6 as we start the 9th inning. With the right-hander Trey Jameson out on the mound. Both his first 2 appearances have come in high-pressure spots in extra innings. Trey got the save Sunday in Chicago, but had a difficult time with his command Wednesday. Got stuck with a loss here against Tampa Bay.
You notice Trey Jameson was warming up alongside of Justin Martinez. Obviously, if the Diamondbacks stayed behind in the game like they have, Trey Jameson is the guy. If they had taken a lead or tied it up, it would have been Justin Martinez.
So Jameson gets 9, 1 and 2. Allen, Verdugo, and Riley. Nick Allen, the shortstop, 0 for 3. So 2 appearances for Dre so far, a save and a loss. Torlovello says that where Dre finds himself in this bullpen is yet to be seen. Out of necessity, they wanted to come up here from Reno and continue to grow. He was making good progress with the Aces. And a former first-round pick out of Ball State with a tremendous ceiling as a big league reliever. Coming off that Tommy John surgery. These are his first major league outing since July of 2023. It's 3-1 on Allen. Verdugo, the leadoff hitter, 0 for 4, and then it's Riley, who was also 0 for 4. Tony Randazzo says strike 2. I think Hernandez would have liked to have some of those calls.
Like that one got a piece of Gabby's right hand. Get another look at that last pitch. Slider working away.
Guys put their throwing hands behind their backs anymore?
They should.
Yeah.
With nobody on base, there's no reason to leave it out there exposed.
Low on a slider. Now you deal with the lineup that turns over for the Braves. Verdugo. Had an RBI double in the game last night. That's been his only hit in the series so far. To center field. Drops in for a hit. A walk and a single open up the Atlanta ninth.
Diamondbacks weren't sure whether to play in for the bunt with Verdugo at the plate and a runner on at first base, but the Braves have only put down 2 sacrifice bunts all year, both by Michael Harris II.
Austin Riley 0 for 4. He has struck out 3 times. The hottest hitter in this lineup in his last 16 games. He's batting .388. But nothing so far tonight. Allen is at second. Verdugo's at first.
Got away with a backup slider there.
What do you always say? If you could figure out a way to throw that on purpose?
Yeah, it'd be a nasty pitch. You see the spin on it. You anticipate it breaking a certain way, and then it goes the opposite way.
That's the more traditional slider right there. And it's 0-2. We saw Raisel Iglesias warming up in the Brave bullpen. Diamondbacks in the home half of this 9th inning have Suarez, Thomas, Barosa due up 6, 7, and 8. 0-2 on Austin Riley. No chase out there. $43,000+ in here tonight. Hoping for another Diamondback comeback. Riley laying off these sliders. Ozuna homered in the first. He's waiting on deck. Way up high for Barosa in left field. Allen is at second, and he'll stay put there. And that's the first out in the 9th. So Riley 0 for 5. Now you deal with Ozuna, who has homered and singled. He's 2 for 4. Ozuna has been a very patient hitter this year. Began the day leading the major leagues in walks. Now batting .311 with 5 homers.
Surprisingly, for his lack of speed, he's only bounced into 1 double play this year. That's because he hits the ball in the air a lot.
Yes. Making 2 good contact when he swings. like to see that Dre does not get fastball reliant. He will throw all his pitches out there. Uncorks that one. A fastball that gets to the backstop. And Allen gets to third. Verdugo into second.
Airmailed that one all the way to the backstop. Not much chance for Gabby on that one. 99 over in the left-handed batter's box with a little bit of cut on it. Just couldn't get to it.
We'll have to bring the infield in now. 1 out, a 2-0 count on Ozuna. Dangerous hitter at the plate. Good spot for that change. Gino will stay even with that bag at third. Everyone else in on the grass. Matt Olson is the on-deck hitter. It's 3-1 on Ozuna. Jameson walked the leadoff hitter Allen. He's at third base now. Verdugo was the next batter. He singled. They moved up on wild pitches, and now Dre behind 3 balls and 1 strike. Too tall, and he's loaded the bases.
Obviously, you'd prefer to get Ozuna out, but that's not the worst thing that could happen right there. Loads the bases, sets up a potential inning-ending double play if he can get a ground ball off the bat of Matt Olson.
Big test here for Dre Jameson, 27-year-old right-hander. Missed the better part of a year and a half, nearly 2 full years coming off that Tommy John surgery. 15 appearances, mostly out of the bullpen in 2023, then suffered a UCL sprain to that right elbow in July of that year. They initially decided not to have elbow surgery. They tried different opinions, suggested treatments, nothing seemed to take. And so finally, near the end of September of 23, had the Tommy John. And it just came back earlier this year. He's in a bases loaded jam now. Dre Jameson against Matt Olson. Olson 0 for 3 with a walk. Allen is at third. Verdugo's at second. Ozuna's at first. 1 out in the 9th. And a sinker up in the zone for a strike. Olson does have a tendency to hit into double plays. And they push the infield back. Almost let another one get by. Gabby saved the run right there. Allen runs pretty well down there at third. Dre starting to color outside the lines here. Ball at a strike. Hard to second. Tawa. Perdomo for 1. And they roll it. You talk about walking a high wire. Dre Jameson gets out of it with a double play ball. Suarez, Thomas, Barossa coming up. Eugenio Suárez, the author of our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing Cool Plays of the Game. A homer in the second. A homer in the fourth. Wait, there's more now. How much would you pay? A homer in the sixth. 3 swings, 3 homers. We know it's Gino. Those are our Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing Cool Plays of the Game as the Braves send their closer out there. Gino will lead it off for the home half of the 9th. The veteran Cuban right-hander, 35 years old, Raisel Iglesias, with 228 career saves, 4 for 5 this year. Suarez down 1, leads it off, and there's the strike.
Iglesias has given up 4 home runs already this season. That matched his total from all of last year.
We'll flash back to September 4th of 2017. The last Diamondback with a 4-homer game. J.D. Martinez at Dodger Stadium. One ball and 2 strikes. Alek Thomas is on deck.
You homer your first 3 at bats in the ball game, the fans expect you to do it again.
The announcers too.
Yeah.
Come on now. All right, well, you're just looking for a base runner here. He'll settle for that. The count is full.
Boy, those are some good takes on that hard slider, low and away pitches that he would have swung at last week.
His at bats this week have been terrific. Suarez! Oh! Fly ball! There's 4, and we're tied. There have been 19 4-homer games in Major League history, the last 2 by the Arizona Diamondbacks. J.D. Martinez in 2017 at Dodger Stadium, and today at Chase Field, Eugenio Suárez. 4 swings, 4 homers, and it's 7-7. Alek Thomas drives one for a base hit to right field, and the winning run's aboard with no outs. What a night here at Chase.
Oh my.
Wow. We know it's Gino. The last time the Braves had a 4-homer game against them, they were in Milwaukee. Willie Mays in 1961. Alek Thomas with that speed is the winning run at first with no outs. Barossa bunts it foul. One more look. His 10th of the year to lead the major leagues. A 4-homer game for Eugenio Suárez. Barossa pops up the bunt. Alek got to hustle back, and he's safe at first. 1 away in the 9th. Tim Tawa.
These are the kind of little things you have to get done. Unfortunately, got it on the barrel of the bat, hit the bottom half of the baseball, and popped it right back to the Braves pitcher. I mentioned before, Drake Baldwin behind the plate now. All of his positives, 1 negative, 13 stolen bases, only 1 caught stealing.
Rookie catcher back there after they ran for Murphy earlier in the game. Tim Tawa hits a double play ball right at Allen. Ozzie Albies turns it. And it's another extra inning game, the 3rd this week for the Diamondbacks. Eugenio Suárez. Go back to J.D. Martinez in 2017. A 4-homer game by a Diamondback, and we're tied. History tonight at Chase Field. All smiles, good vibes only from Eugenio Suárez. 4 hits, all 4 home runs. The first 4-homer game by a Diamondback since just dingers J.D. Martinez back in 2017. And he now leads the major leagues. 1 ahead of Corbin Carroll, 10 home runs. And for the 4th time this week, the Diamondbacks play extra innings. J.D. Martinez out there for the 10th. They were in extras last Sunday in Chicago. Played extras here Wednesday and Thursday against Tampa Bay. And now we start the 10th here Saturday night against the Atlanta Braves.
See the numbers for Justin Martinez this season. If he's in the strike zone, he's nearly unhittable.
And Olsen, who hit into a double play to win that bases loaded threat in the 9th, as the runner at second base. Here is the rookie catcher Drake Baldwin. Came on to work behind the plate after they pinch ran for Sean Murphy. Baldwin, 24-year-old rookie, 244 on the year. He's homered twice. J Mart's on it. Got a hustle. Threw a fastball down there and just did get the out as Olson gets into third. Brian Snitker wants to make sure. Baldwin got up that line pretty well.
Yeah, he did. And J Mart really took his time getting to that ball, but unleashes a vicious fastball to Josh Naylor at first. It appeared just in time. Yeah, they got him.
No challenge from the Atlanta dugout. Ozzie Albies is the hitter. Wilson at third with one out. J Mart spikes a split, and Olson jogs on in with the 8th Atlanta run.
Not even close.
Diamondbacks led at 6-2, trailed at 7-6. We were tied 7-7. Now they're down 8-7. 1-0 on Albies. Pops it up near the line in left. Barossa. 2 outs in the 10th. Michael Harris, the second, is the batter. He had a 2-run double in the 8th inning his last time up. He's 2 for 4 tonight. Tim Towell would be the runner for the Diamondbacks bottom 10. They will start with the top of the order: Corbin Carroll, Geraldo Perdomo, and Pavin Smith. Dylan Lee, the left-hander, in the Atlanta bullpen. He worked an inning in the ball game last night. Eli White homered in the 7th, which started this Atlanta comeback. And waiting on deck. And J Mart still trying to find the strike zone. There's a strike at 98 with that sinker.
Harris does have base stealing speed down there at first base. The Braves don't run a lot, but Harris is 4 out of 5 in his attempts this year.
Tim Towell at second. Lanes it up. Down 1, bottom 10. Carroll, Perdomo. Who's got a Craven coming up? Another wild one in front of 43,000 plus here at Chase Field. Diamondbacks had a 6-2 lead after 6 innings. We trailed at 7-6. We came back to tie 7-7 on Eugenio Suárez's 4th home run of the night. And now it's 8-7. Dylan Lee, the left-hander, on to start the 10th for the Braves. We saw Lee in a ball game last night. He got 3 outs in the 7th. Tim Towell will be the tying run down there at second to start the 10th. Corbin Carroll, 0 for 4. He has struck out his last 3 times up there. Will lead off the 10th for the Diamondbacks. Casino, Arizona has our post-game preview. Todd Walsh, Josh Colmenter standing by. A lot to talk about after this wild one tonight. Corbin chased a slider out there. He's hit in 4 straight games, 16 of 17. 0 for 4 tonight. rookie Drake Baldwin back there keeps that in front.
Got to move him here somehow, drive him in, at least get him to third base.
Shelby Miller in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Pulls it right side, and it's strike 2. Well, it's been a special night. 4-homer game from a Eugenio Suárez. I'd like to leave here with a W. 43,043 on hand tonight.
And very few have left, and why would you? What a ball game.
2-2. Corbin up the middle, Allen behind the bag, and they're able to move Tawa into third.
All right.
But they had Allen in the right spot, otherwise we'd be tied. Geraldo Perdomo has walked 3 times and popped out. He's had tremendously patient at bats.
We'll have the advantage in this at bat of having that infield drawn in. Much easier to drive it through there when those guys are playing up near the edge of the grass.
First pitch swinging, that's coming back here. Slider hung out over the plate from Lee, and it's in the booth. Hold on.
Yeah, we knew it was
Here
close. We knew it was close.
Oh, that one's going to radio. 0-2. Tying run 90 feet away with 1 out. 0-2 on Geraldo Perdomo. Infield in for Atlanta. Pavin Smith scheduled up next. Randall Grichuk in the on-deck circle. He would bat against the left-hander. Now the 1-2. Perdomo to short. Allen looks him back. Tawa stays put. 2 outs. It's up to Grichuk. Randall got the start as the DH in last night's game. 0 for 4 with a walk. He struck out twice. And it's going to be up to Randall. He bats for Pavin Smith. Jim Tawa down at third with 2 outs. Infield backs up for the Braves. Game like this, it's only one way for this game to end. Grichuk against the lefty, 1 swing. That's fair up the line. Long throw for Riley. Safe! And we're tied. Randall Grichuk beats it out. Olson wants a review. Brian Snitker wants to take a look, and I think they might have missed the call. Clint Vondrak at first. There's Dan Bellino, the crew chief at second base, and the Braves will challenge. Here's a look.
Atlanta is challenging the safe
ends
call
up in
at first
foul
base.
territory,
Previous
making
play
that
is under
throw
review.
across the diamond on a couple of hops, maybe 3 hops. Oh man, they got it.
Yeah. Well, you go back all the way to 1900. Bob Horner for the Braves in 1986 is the only player with a 4-homer game that his team lost. And we might be headed to match that fate here tonight. Hey, take a look at this in New York. Here's Dan Bellino.
After review, the ruling on the field is overturned. The runner is out. The ball game is over.
Oh, a heartbreaker for sure. Diamondbacks had a 6-2 lead. After 6 innings, Atlanta got 2 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th. Eugenio Suárez with his 4th homer in 4 at bats, able to tie it up in the 9th. But Atlanta's run of the 10th holds up, and they come away with a win. Todd Walsh, Josh Colmenter standing by. Dbacks post-game show. A lot to recap here. They've dropped the first 2 against the Braves. Diamondbacks have now lost 4 straight. And post-game show is next.